Hello and welcome to my E38 restoration series. In the second episode we're gonna find out the perfect condition of BMW coolant.
This is what BMW coolant should look like.
We're gonna take out a bunch of injectors and a turbocharger.
Check this out.
We're gonna find out that special tools exist for a reason.
What? Was it that easy? I just needed the proper tool. Who would have thought?
I break an expensive part.
No, I broke it.
I show you my way of cleaning an engine bay and I assemble my tools to some gypsy jazz.
Let's play some gypsy jazz while doing it.
I'm also going to show you how to eat like a Bulgarian, and I'm gonna give you a rundown of my life story.
Now at this point of the series you're probably wondering, what is this guy and what does he do?
There's a lot of ground to cover, so without further ado, let's get to it and enjoy.
Now that my LED lamp died on me, I'm forced to wear this. I feel like I kind of look stupid. Do I? Okay, now let's get to removing the injectors. You're gonna need a couple of tools to do that. On the M57, you're gonna need a flathead screwdriver. You're gonna need a 17 key, and you're gonna need an 8mm bit. So without further ado, let's get to it by first removing the little clamps of the injectors. So as I said in the previous episode, these they hold the excess fuel lines in place on top of the injectors. Now you gotta be careful when you push them out, because these ports are open, and if you have nothing over them, one of the clips could easily fall down. See, it's pointing right there, so it's quite dangerous. And the last one of the bunch, remove the return lines.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6.
Pull this out, place it on a rag. Now the next step is removing this fuel rail. So for that you're going to need a 17 key. Apply pressure just a bit, then a bit more. Boom, it pops off. Just give it another few twists. You can go by hand. First one is free. On to the second one. I think if I disconnect the fuel rail pressure sensor and unbolt the rail itself, I'm gonna be able to pull it up and free up some space. So let's do just that. Okay, now we do have access to this little basket. Wiggle it out, just like that. All right. Number 13 for the fuel rail. It's tight. Ah, yes. 1 and 2 and 3. Okay. We take them out by hand. They do have washers, so be careful not to drop them. Now your engine is very exposed, so we gotta be careful. This is just me talking to myself, by the way. And now let's see if we can just... Whoop. Something fell down. It looks like a bit from the intake. Okay, so there's a line actually going down to the high pressure pump. Okay, now we should be able to lift this up and twist it out of place, because there's nothing simple on BMWs. Fuel rail is out and filthy. Okay, so next up we're gonna have to remove this injector bracket or clamp or whatever it's called. This is what it looks like. This is injector number 1. This right here is the bracket, and it's held down by 2 nuts essentially. Undo nut number 1. Undo number 2. Now that I don't have a magnet, we have to be extra careful taking those out. Look at this. This is one of my favorite tools. Does it not remind you of something from Spider-Man? Okay, now that the clamps are free, let's see if those injectors are seized up or I can take them out. Unfortunately, I do not have a reverse hammer, so I'm gonna have to use raw strength. Okay, now it's time to try and take these injectors out. I'm gonna wiggle them left and right, and I have to be very careful not to apply pressure here on this connector cap. So I'm first going to try and do so by mainly wiggling here. So this is where the fuel rail lines attach. I'm actually going to go ahead and disconnect this camshaft position sensor just to free up some space. Just like that. Okay, we'll pull this to the side. Now there should be enough space. And try to go this back and forth. It's moving. Now another method is to kind of push it here, but you've got to be very careful as you're pressing against this plastic head cover, and you don't want to crack that. Okay, the time from the project has come where I have to step into the engine bay. Okay, first one is out and about. I'm gonna have to do this 5 more times, so I'll go to war and I'll give you an update in a bit. Yes? No? Maybe? Who knows? And number 2 is out. 3rd time's a charm. Number 3. So I actually found a very easy method of taking them out. So first I wiggle them back and forth until they feel loose. And then I use a big pick. I place something soft on this valve cover and I kind of latch onto this nut down here, which is under the attachment point of the fuel rail line. So I kind of just push it out. You gotta be very gentle because, as I said, you're pressing against plastic. So yeah, this one actually came out easily. Number 4. Hi, can I get a number 5? And number 5. This one is filthy. Now let's try and get the last one. Maybe I can even do it by hand. But no, we have a method and we're gonna follow it. Take the pick, the big pick, get it onto the edge of this nut and gently pop it out. Just like that. There we go. And number 6. Here we have all 6 injectors numbered and ready to be sent off to a professional to get refurbished. Now this is the injector port. As you can see, it's filthy as hell. There is some carbon buildup, but honestly, at least this first one is not all too bad. So before we even install or think about installing the refurbished injectors, we're gonna have to clean this up with our injector port cleaning kit. And now we're on to draining the coolant. To do that, we're first going to undo that little thing right there. You see it, bottom left? Yeah, that's the radiator drain plug. So we're gonna have to undo that, hopefully catch all the liquids at the bottom, and then we're gonna see if we can also drain the coolant from the block. Okay, now I'm gonna have to visit this trench, and hopefully the pan is in the right position to catch all of this. Sounds like draining down into the pan. Is it? It is. Okay, I'm gonna show you the leak. You ready? Ready? I'm gonna show you the leak. Oh yeah, you saw it right. Look at what's peeking there. Guess what that is? That's my replacement ride. Okay, have a look at this. Yep, it's leaking. And now, while the coolant is leaking, as it always does, we're gonna remove the viscous fan and get some more space up here. To get started, I'm gonna take this clip off with a trim tool. So this clip attaches it to the radiator. There's one on this side and one right here on the inside. So insert the tool, press hard. Come on. There we go. Two plastic clips out. And to finish the job, we're gonna need a hammer and a long ass number 32. So the viscous fan is reverse thread, isn't it? So we're gonna have to kind of go right. One big smack. I have to use raw strength. Hope this doesn't fall down. Whoa! Ooh, I think we actually got it. Did we? Did we get it? Yes, we did. Whoa. There we go. Now, allegedly, we can take this out. Shield. Ooh. And there we go. Someone did something to the shield. I don't know if they were trying to draw Sonic the Hedgehog's hair on here. And I have no idea what happened down here. But we're gonna get a new one in case we actually install the viscous fan, because I'm thinking of an electric fan conversion, but we'll see the options on that one. Right, now we do have access. What the hell is this? So just for the hell of it, we're gonna get rid of this dirty old piece of shit. Look at that. Okay, now we can get started on removing some coolant hoses. This is the upper radiator hose. It's got a clip. Oh, pull it up like this. Then we undo the expansion tank side like this. Pull it off and try not to break it, because we're gonna keep it as a spare, because this one is perfectly fine, but since I'm at it, I'm gonna change everything. And wiggle it back and forth. My God. I can try to use some leverage here. Ooh, leverage always works, doesn't it? Oh, there we go. Something flew out. Oh, and would you look at that. I'm gonna try to show you something once I take this out. Now we do the same on the other end. It's actually way easier to take this out. Come on, you piece. Okay, so when you pull, make sure there's nothing sharp, because you can actually cut your veins if you have them exposed. Okay, this end is off. So some time ago we actually had oil in the coolant. How surprising, right? And the guys who fixed the engine, they said the engine block is gone, so it's like cracked. And I think they did not flush the cooling system when they overhauled this engine. So yeah, this engine actually has a new block, and it's fully rebuilt. So it's kind of a new engine, but let me show you what happens when you don't flush. See this O-ring? It has expanded to the point where soon enough it would fail and start leaking. I said this hose is fine, but honestly on the inside it looks very bad. It's not leaking, but at most we're gonna keep it as a spare in case of emergency. Next up is the lower radiator hose, which is this guy right here. So I heard that one is actually tricky to get out, so let's see if that stands true. Oh no, it's not budging. It's off one. Okay. I don't recall this ever being changed. Let's try roll strength. Ooh, it's moving. I think I'm gonna break the rad. Pull up and push down. Oh yeah, it's coming out. That's what she said. Mission is a success. Now if I drop this in the canal, I'm gonna yes, let's drop it down. Remove the radiator. Is there something stopping us? I don't think so. Something fell down. I wanna know what, but this bad boy is out and retired. Now let's see if we can just into the pan. Okay, next up we're removing the EGR cooler and thermostat. For this job you're gonna need a couple of bits. You're gonna need a Allen 6, you're gonna need an Allen 5 and a Torx 40. I keep a pick in close proximity at all times because this actually turns out is one of the most useful tools on this project so far. So without further ado, let's get started by first undoing the two screws on the right hand side of this cooler. In my case, I have one of them for some reason, but there's one at the top and one at the bottom. So, as with all things, don't go too fast, don't apply too much force. I've never needed my trusty magnet more than I do right now. I have to go down to the abyss to pick it up. Okay, there we go. So the thermostat is attached via a hose to the main coolant line, so we're gonna have to undo that, and it's out. Okay. Now we're gonna do the same for this little hose right here that goes to the lower radiator hose. Loosen this clamp, and the hose popped right out, like they always do. Now it's time for the T40. You may need a very long and thin extension, but let's see if this one works. Let's see. So it follows this bend of the cooler, follows it, and it's right on top. Maybe it was a good idea to remove this first, but let's make it a bit more difficult, shall we? Oh yeah, it's on there. Let's see now. See if we can reach it by hand. Okay. Now the second one, gonna need a thinner extension. All the tools I purchased are already paying off big time. Right, now so this cooler should pop right off, no? Oh, it's being held on by something. Yeah, so the bracket goes right here on the bend, and right on the bend there's one more bolt here, so let's whip out Allen number 6, is it? Okay, now the cooler should be free in theory. Yep, there it goes. And there we have it, the EGR oil cooler with a thermostat. This is probably leaving the premises of this engine bay, as I'm going to do an EGR delete as advised by some serious people. Okay, you know what? Now let's remove this charge pipe, is that what it's called? Should have done that a long time ago, but now when I pull this off, I'm gonna have some access to the turbo, see the propeller or whatever it's called, the blade. Do I have access to the second screw? It's tucked away. Come on, okay. So to get that one, you have to go in between the vacuum pump and this charge pipe. There we go. Sometimes you gotta bite the bullet. That's disgusting, but okay, now, and it's out. Now can I just, okay. Oh yeah. Look at that, it's so filthy. So all of this grime and dust in the engine is probably because there's no plastic tray at the bottom, so we're gonna have to get one, probably for 5,000 euros from BMW. You see that? That's the turbo. So actually it does not look bad, so let's see if it has any play on the blade. There is quite a bit of play. I'm not entirely sure how much there should be, but I can feel a significant play right here. It's spinning freely. It's spinning freely, but this is going to get refurbished anyways. Okay, so now it's time to remove the main plastic coolant pipe. This one is, I'm guessing, a very old one. We've never changed it. And last time I was doing some coolant system work, this bleed hose cracked a bit and it started leaking a hell of a ton of coolant from the side of this nipple. So I had to install a clamp to get it together and keep me on the road. But now that everything is off, we can take it off and replace it finally. Okay, so this plastic pipe runs into everything. As I said, it's the main pipe, so the expansion tank attaches to it, the water pump attaches to it, the oil cooler attaches to it, and the heater hoses attach to it, and essentially everything does attach to it. So without further ado, let's start from the bottom. We're going to undo the clip and this connection to the water pump. Okay, now this. Next up, the expansion tank main line. Pull this clamp down and release the hose. Next up, on Allen 5, I believe here. Oop, it's freeing up. So we should have one 10mm nut on the oil filter housing. Finish it by hand into the pan. Now all we gotta do is undo the clamp on the oil cooler. Oh shit! Okay, straight on into the canal. That's fine. Okay, and now this pipe should, in theory, be free. But what is this man missing? What am I missing, guys? Come on, tell me. I'm gonna free up some space by removing this. All right. Okay, thermostat end. Gotta muscle it a bit. Okay, doesn't want to leave the engine bay. Oh no. Okay, it's leaking everywhere, but I'm just gonna clean up later. All right, and after a long fight, coolant plastic pipe is off. Okay, next up, we remove the coolant flange. Looks like a 10 mil. It is a 10 mil. Now the flange should pop right off. Oh, the gasket was on there. This is probably the original one. It looks intact, but I'm gonna replace it just in case, because plastic gets old, you know? And now we do have lots of axes. The ports look absolutely terrible, honestly. There seems to be grime in here. Is it just rust? Is it? Okay, so now that I have axes, I see more hoses to waste my money on. I mean, to use my money on. I have most of the coolant hoses, or at least I thought I did. But I think I do not have the heater hoses, so we're gonna have to purchase that. Probably BMW original ones. Now we can take the expansion tank off. I think you just pull it right off. Ouch! Undo the coolant level sensor. This one could be reused, but honestly I'm gonna change it. So historically, these nips right here and right here, they fail. Of course, they're plastic and breaks over time. This has given up on me a couple of times, so it's way overdue for a change. This unit is probably like 10 years old, as most things on the car. So we're gonna do just that.
And now a story about BMW coolant. This is what BMW coolant should look like. This is the perfect condition of one BMW's cooling system. You can see all the white spots among the blackness and darkness. Anyways, as you can see, this is not good. You can see that obviously there was oil contamination, and as I said in the past, it was not entirely flushed. So this, I'm guessing, is residual oil from that leak. So we're gonna have to figure out to somehow flush the system, either as the car is sitting right now or when we install all the parts. Even though I do not want to get any residual stuff on the new parts, but that can be fixed, so we're gonna see about that. So before we go any further into this assembly, I just wanted to show you my process of finding the correct replacement parts for this car. So to do that, we use essentially the most reliable website, which is realoem.com. In here you can enter your VIN number and you're gonna get very specific information about your vehicle and all of its spare parts. Now, historically, at least in my experience, this is not 100% accurate, so you always have to double check. Now, first off, you're gonna go through like a learning curve of learning all the categories and so on, but essentially the most important thing is knowing what system you're working on. Now, as I said, there will be a learning curve, but you quickly learn how to get around this website and its menu. So in this specific case, we're going to look for the hoses, the coolant hoses that go into these three inlets and outlets. So what I know is that I'm working on the heater system, since this right here behind the hose are the heater valves. So what I have to do is first look through the categories, and there we have it, heater and air conditioning. Now, when I get into this menu, I'll see the subcategories, and essentially what I do is I look for the visuals. So in this case, when I see hoses, I know that's probably the menu. So here we have it, water circulation of independent heater. Now, when I get into this menu, this page, I can now see some of the elements that I see under the hood.
in this case it's the heater valves, and I can start tracking what's happening on the scheme and what's happening under the hood. And now the scheme does show the parts, but they do look a bit different. So in this case, what I'm looking for is first the hose on top from the driver's side, the hose on top from the passenger side, and also the hose that goes into the return coolant pipe. So on this scheme, I can't seem to find number 18 and number 11 and number 18. Actually, that's number 12. So 11 and 12. When you click on the number, it gets highlighted, so you have easy access to the menu below. So what I do is I click on this, I copy the part number, and I Google search it, essentially just to verify what it looks like and make sure this is the correct part. So let's say this hose is it's shot, it's leaking. I still have access to the old one, so I can see the shape and ensure this is the correct shape. So right now you can see on this image this bend right here. It's way different than this one right here. So just to make sure, I Google search it, ensure this is the correct part, and I place it on a list, either handwritten or in a spreadsheet. It doesn't matter. You have to keep track of this. So what you're purchasing, how much it costs, etc., etc. So next thing is we have a valve at the bottom, so under number 12. In the car there's another hose, right? But this one is not on the scheme. So now we have to ask the question, why is it not on this scheme? Well, it's probably because in most cases, that's how it goes. It's probably a part of a different system. So I'm gonna have a look down, see where this goes. So this goes under and attaches to a metal pipe. So that is likely a part of a different system. So from what I've seen under the car, this is the auxiliary heating system. So let's see if we can find that here. Going down. Independent heating, fuel supply, pump tubing. Okay, so additional heater. So this could be it. Let's see. Okay, so now again we have a look what the part looks like. So it has a bend at the top and a bend at the bottom. So I'm guessing. So this one should be number 11. So let's have a look, do the same thing again. Open it up, just like that, and Google search. I don't know why I'm doing it the hard way. I could actually do it like this, search with Google, but anyways, let's see. This one I cannot find images of, so I can go ahead and have a look inside of the website where I purchase parts. But anyways, you get the point. So first off, you have to know what system you're working on, and then you have to kind of get familiar with real OEM, because it's basically schematics. So again, there is a learning curve, but you get used to it. And in time, it's very easy to find a spare part. Now, there is another way to do it. You just take off the part and look for a part number. That's perhaps the easiest way when you have original parts on your car, because they almost always have some kind of part number. So then you just take that, go to the dealer, place an order, and there's that.
So what I'm saying here is you have to pay attention when you're actually ordering parts, because there is a chance of the wrong part coming in because of a mistake you made. So it's not as simple as, oh, I'm just going to place this order, I'm going to take the parts, install them, and it's going to be good. No, sometimes mistakes happen, and this is one of the things that can make your project just linger on and get you slowed down. Some parts take 2 weeks to deliver, and imagine waiting for 2 weeks just for the wrong part to come in. It doesn't work that way. So pay attention, get familiar with the part schemes, and make sure you are actually ordering the correct part and you're 100% certain of it before you place an order.
Now, the second episode originally was an hour and a half, which I think is a bit too long of a video, especially considering that my first episode got a staggering 59 views, going viral, right? Well, not exactly. So, if you're watching this and you have any type of feedback, whether it's something you like, dislike, or you want to see more of, I would appreciate it if you would drop a comment and let me know what you think about the series so far. And what I promised in the intro, you will receive in the next episode, so I'll see you then. And until then, here's a nice little pull in my Volvo C70 T5. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.